Se nagħtu ħarsa llum lejn kumpanija fil-qasam tas-saħħa magħrufa bħala Hospital Saturday Fund li ilha topera fir-Renju Unit mis-sena 1873 u fl-Irlanda mis-sena 1949. Niltaqgħu ma' Paul Jackson, is-CEO tal-kumpanija, u Mark Davis li huwa direttur tal-bord li kellmuna dwar l-importanza li ma tinsaqat lil dawk li huma fil-bżonn. Jispjegaw kif il-pjan tal-kopertura medika hija l-ferra kummerċjali tal-karità, the Hospital Saturday Fund. Thank you very much, Mr. Jackson, for coming to visit us during your stay in Malta this time.
It's an absolute pleasure, to speak to you and talk about HSF.
I'm looking forward to sharing this with our viewers. Can we talk a bit about the history of HSF from its inception in the UK to Ireland and now in Malta?
Absolutely, yes. We were set up in 1873, so we're 151 years old. And the idea in 1873 was to provide medical care for people in the southeast of England, mostly London. And the gentleman that set us up was a lord who came over from Ireland, and he had this idea that people would pay a penny to have access to some medical care. And he set this thing up with a bank called Hogg Bank, which is the longest known independent bank in the UK. And the reason it's called the Hospital Saturday Fund is because in Victorian times people were paid on a Saturday, so they paid their penny to have access to the health plan. And going back to the original time, we actually have a box, one of these money boxes where people paid their collections.
What were some of the milestones and challenges along the way?
Definitely. So that premise worked really well as a charity in London and the southeast. And in 1949, obviously the NHS in the UK came into being, and it really took away the reason for HSF at the time. And the trustees had an epiphany, and they decided to launch a health plan, which is a type of private medical insurance for everyday health costs. And what happened was, because our founder was Irish, we also launched in Ireland. And these days we're the largest health plan provider in Ireland and one of the largest in the UK. And we also launched in Malta, because we had some issues around Brexit, and we were looking to move our European operations to a different country. In the end, we didn't actually launch in Malta in the way we'd planned, because we still administer the health plan from the UK in Ireland, but we launched a standalone Maltese insurance company.
How long ago was that, the Maltese side?
So we launched that in 2020. It took a little while because of the pandemic as well, didn't help. So it's at the end of 2020.
How does HSF differentiate from other similar plans on the market?
Well, it's really the main reason people take it is because you can use it if you're not ill. So it's for everyday health costs. So most people join it for things like dental and optical cover, but there's therapies like physiotherapy, that sort of thing. So it is something that people can use, whereas normally with private medical insurance you only use that if you're unwell. People love it as well because the claims that they put in are turned around and paid very quickly, and also because of our charity ethos, we tend to try and pay if we can, which is different to most insurance companies you'll come across.
So I've got a number of hats that I wear for HSF. I'm on the trading company, so I'm a non-executive director in the UK. I'm also on the Irish committee, but I'm also a non-exec director here in Malta. But I also act as a trustee of the charity. As Paul's described, the charity owns the trading company, and all funds, all profits are gifted over to the charity, and we give away about €2.5 million per annum across the 3 jurisdictions in which we operate. So quite a wide-ranging role, and it has to be said that it's expanded over the years with the Maltese setup now, but it's incredibly rewarding to be part of such a great organisation whose ultimate objective is to help medically related charities and give away all that money every year. It's an absolute delight.
So the way you describe it, what the health plan is offering is quite unique, because actually most people suffer more from ailments rather than big diseases or big illnesses, and it comes in very handy. How is it being received in Malta?
It's been received very well, actually, because obviously it's new to Malta. Health plans are very much sort of a UK and Irish type of thing. So we obviously when we launched it, we thought it would sell. Actually, we had great support from the financial regulator in Malta. He was very keen for us to launch a standalone product for Maltese people, and it has worked really well. And particularly in the last sort of few months, we're really expanding quite quickly, which is good. And also, what we've done is we've launched a new product which covers inpatient care as well, which we don't really need in the UK or Ireland, but we felt we did need for the Maltese market. So that is literally being launched as we speak, and we think that will improve the take-up of the health plan as well.
You speak about the Maltese market. Is that a corporate market or is it a B2C market?
At the moment it's corporate, but we definitely want to offer it to the individual as well, like we do in the UK and Ireland, but we thought we'd try the corporate market first. Obviously that corporate market includes other organisations like charities, because we tend to do very well, with selling the health plan to charities. So that's one of the things we are looking at.
Il-profitti mill-pjan tas-saħħa tal-HSF jintużaw mill-karità biex jipprovdu assistenza għal organizzazzjonijiet tal-karità tas-saħħa reġistrati, ospici, organizzazzjonijiet mediċi u individwi b'kondizzjonijiet medika jew diżabilità. Il-Hospital Saturday Fund ġiet imwaqfa fis-sena 1873 mill-philanthropu Reginald Brabazon li kien ukoll magħruf bħala Lord Meath. The Hospital Saturday Fund ġiet imwaqfa bħala mezz biex tipprovdi kontribuzzjonijiet tant meħtieġa lill-isptarijiet volontarji. Din iskema permettiet lill-irġiel li jaħdmu l-opportunità li jħallsu somma żgħira fil-ġurnata li jitħallsu. Din il-ġurnata kienet is-Sibt u din is-somma setat tintuża jekk kien hemm bżonn ta' kura medika. U għalhekk il-kumpanija jisimha The Hospital Saturday Fund.
The Malta Trust Foundation in 2022 was the first grant that we gave, €15,000. Delighted to be able to do that. And it set us on our track, if you like, towards giving more money in the Maltese jurisdiction, as well as Ireland and the UK.
How do the profits from the plan support the charities mission?
Absolutely. So the charity, as I said before, is 150 years old, but we had a change in structure in 2008, where the original trading company, the one that works in Ireland and the UK, the original insurance company, was given to a charitable trust that we had a link to. And that charitable trust has now formed a group, which is a rather large group of a charity and 3 trading companies, 3 insurance companies that now includes Malta. And basically what we've done is that those insurance companies work to provide a very good health plan, but at the same time the surplus goes to the charity, and then the charity then gives out medical grants. And those grants can range from anything from hospices right the way through to medical research. And across Malta, Ireland and the UK, we give away about €2.5 million a year to about 600 charities. And we also support individuals who've got a welfare need because of a medical condition. So we provide things like stair lifts, motorised scooters, that sorts of things to the individual, which really goes back to 1873 and why we were founded, so we still do that too. But that is about 10% of the grants go to individuals, the other 90 goes to charities.
The Emmanuel Foundation cares for cancer treatment, patients that are dealing with the treatment on a daily basis. Again, delighted, the second grant that we were able to give was €15,000. and to give an additional Maltese application.
That's really generous of you, and it's such a nice scheme, really. How does the process work, and what type of due diligence do you perform?
Okay, so we receive about 1,000 applications from charities a year, and of those we're able to help, as I say, about 600. We have a grant committee, and on that grant committee we have trustees, independent people, and a couple of employees, one of them being me. And we select the charities that we want to support, and those charities apply to us for a grant, and then we select the ones that we want to help. We have two different types of grant. We have a kind of standard grant, which is a bit easier to process, which is €3,000. And then we have our large grant, which is sort of 13,000, 14,000 euros. And those are the ones that we tend to study a bit more carefully. And we do actually go on visits to check the grant. And then what happens is then the person who carries out the assessment then recommends to the grant making committee whether that should be paid or not. So it's very transparent. Everyone on the committee has a vote, and what we really try and do is match the levels of funding that we receive in the 3 different countries to the number of grants that we give. So it's very fair. And one of the things we have been doing is increasing the number of grants we give in Ireland, but also we've so far in Malta in our sort of couple of years we've given about 7 grants. And we've actually given about €70,000 away, which, as a beginning, is very good.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah.
I thank you for your generosity.
It's a pleasure. It's fantastic.
Yeah, Hospice Malta, 13,500. Again, the third of around about half a dozen that we've now granted in Malta. Absolutely delighted to be able to continue our support of Maltese charities.
Can you describe, Paul, your role as CEO of the company?
So I'm Group Chief Executive of the Hospital Safety Fund, but also I'm Chief Executive of the trading companies, the insurance companies as well. My role really is to make sure that things are run properly, all the sort of governance is done, which is incredibly important. Because, for us, being a financial services based company and a charity, we have 11 regulators across the 3 countries that we work in, which is so that's a big part of what I do. But also what I really like doing is talking about HSF and the work we do, whether it's, meeting customers like we have done recently in Malta. And that was lovely because meeting customers in Malta who talk about the health plan in the same way as someone who lives in Dublin would talk about it, or Manchester was really fantastic. So that was great. But also, like today, we're going to assess a charity on Gozo. So it's an amazing experience to be able to go and see the hard work that all these volunteers and people who work within these charities put in to make things happen for people. So hopefully we can give that funding to make that easier for them to carry out their good work.
The Richmond Foundation and the work they undertake, the amount that we gave them, they do an incredible job here on Malta, and we were pleased to receive the application and again to support it through approval through our grant making committee.
Did you realise that voluntary work is very popular in Malta?
Yes, I know. It's a bit like Ireland in that way, actually. Yeah, really, there's a lot of volunteering. One of the things would be fantastic, I think, for everyone is if we could, people could have some sort of tax relief for the donations that they give. It's one of the big drivers in the UK and Ireland is that, people who give money know that part of that gift will be grossed up by 20% by the government, and therefore that obviously adds a little bit of power to what they're doing.
Yeah, so Smiling for Jerome, which was €6,000, probably I think actually the smallest grant we've given, but actually making one of the biggest difference because it helps with the medical, the mental care of individuals that are dealing with cancer on a daily basis. A distraction for them, if you like.
And it's the same for companies in a way, because companies obviously they receive tax relief for any gifts they give, which is one of the reasons we can do more, because the way that the tax works in the UK and Ireland is it means we can literally give extra, a tax credit, if you like, as part of our grants. And I know that's a historic thing we've been doing for a long time, but it would be fantastic if we could do that in Malta.
I haven't quite caught up with that.
Yes.
But that's a very good idea.
Yeah.
Friends of the Sick and the Elderly in Gozo, Paul and I actually visited that one of the last times we were over. We assessed that grant. We witnessed the incredible work that they're doing. So they have a range of medical apparatus that they lend out to individuals on the island, and they've just got an amazing warehouse full of stuff that is given out to those people. And again, we were delighted to be able to support that charity in a small way, but I think it made a big difference.
Looking forward, what are HSF's plans into the future? Do you have any initiatives planned? And are there any new expansions on the horizon that you could share with us?
Yeah, absolutely. As I say, the big thing for us is the colleague care policy that we've just written. It's just coming out because we think that will really help in Malta. In terms of overall, we are making some changes to the plans in the UK because the market there is quite aggressive, and so that's something we are looking at because. You have to keep ahead of the game, really. We've got some big clients, big companies, and everyone wants those clients. So we really have to make sure that we are ahead of the game with that sort of thing. So definitely looking at everything, but we are in a way a one-trick pony because we are a health plan provider, and it's kept us in good stead over the years, really, to be fair, and we are growing. Look at the stats again, even for the quarter. Here, Ireland and the UK, we've grown quite a bit. So I think people really appreciate what we do. And of course, our USP is the fact we're owned by a charity. So everybody that contributes to the health plan in terms of has a policy and doesn't spend all the benefit that's they're entitled to, knows that benefit is actually going to help charities in Malta, Ireland, and the UK, which is an amazing thing to do. So. We raise our money locally and we give it back locally, which we've always done.
That's amazing. Thank you very much, Paul, for coming to spend some of your time with us here.
An absolute pleasure.
All these details about such an innovative scheme. Thank you. Thanks for coming.
Thank you, Leah. It's been great. Thank you very much.
Il-Hospital Saturday Fund għandu l-appoġġ ta' numru ta' ċelebritajiet internazzjonali li jġibu l-influenza u l-entużjażmu tagħhom għal din il-ħidma importanti tal-karità. Fosthom il-kumedjant Graham Norton li jipparteċipa fl-avvenimenti ta' din il-karità. Dame Leslie Garrett, is-sopran ta' fama internazzjonali, hija il-patruna tal-Hospital Saturday Fund. Hija magħrufa għat-talent eċċezzjonali u l-impenn tagħha għall-filantropija. Se nispiċċaw il-Medical News b'silta ta' xogħla.